Hello, everybody. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Walker, and we are joined today by a very special guest. You hear her name all the time. You've heard her voice before, but producer Katie is on with us. Hello, producer Katie.
Hello, Kyle.
So that sounded so official, and wow, wow, you should be like a professional podcaster or something.
And actually, what threw you is it sounded nice. And normally I'm so grumpy and telling you to do things and to not do things. And
normally
you're just not used to this level of niceness.
Yeah, normally she's yelling at me. That's how this normally works. But we do have producer Katie on for a reason today. But before we get to our reason, and this is the very special announcement that we have teased you guys about for weeks now, this is the episode for it. One last plug, though. Make sure that you are going to be at the KC Santa Dash coming up next weekend on December the 10th. Go to KC Santa Dash, get registered, use the discount code PACK for the Back of the Pack discount. And I want to see everybody at that race on December 10th. It's a late start so that if it's cold, we're not all freezing to death, which is nice. It's in Westport, which is a great area to run in. You heard Chris, the race director, on the episode with us. Hell of a nice guy. He's going to put on a good event. And, hey, maybe we can all meet up for a celebratory soda or iced tea or whatever after the race on Saturday. But make sure you go do that. Get registered for the race. So the reason we are here today and the reason that we have producer Katie on with us, our big announcement. Here's what we're going to do, and here's why we're doing it first. So first off, when we started this podcast back in March, one of the goals, at least for me, was, and I say this as humbly as possible, but honestly, I wanted to change the running landscape in Kansas City. And I say that because due to the Rona, a lot of the races have died off. Participation is down. Excitement is down. I remember back when I would first go to races, there was a buzz at the start lines. There was an excitement. And while there still is at some races, there are some races that are just kind of ho-hum. People aren't all that excited. The numbers are down. I wanted to kind of try and do my best to reinvigorate the Kansas City running community, in a way that I could. Katie, would you say that's kind of a fair assessment of how I pitched this to you so many months ago?
Yeah. And I said, are you kidding? Nobody's going to listen to that.
And they don't. No. So that's it.
That is not true. I would have to say you've done a stellar job because I would never have guessed the amount of love that comes to runners. Like you guys are amazing. Runners are kind of awesome.
Well, yes, runners are awesome. Then there's just me. But runners are awesome.
I wasn't really talking about you, Kyle. Let's just be clear.
So when we started this in March, that was kind of my low-key goal for this podcast. And, I did not expect it to take off the way that it has. Now, while, of course, I would love if we had more listeners and more shares and more views and likes and comments and interactions, in the short time that we've been doing this, we have really grown a lot. We get more and more listeners every week. We get more and more people who interact with us. We, dare I say, are known in the Kansas City running community at this point. The race companies know who we are. Whether they like us or not, I don't know, but they know who we are. And some of the running clubs, they know who we are. Race directors know who we are. We have the expo at the Kansas City Marathon. So people got to meet us and got to interact. And we met a ton of really cool people there. So people know who we are. And if I've gotten one piece of feedback the most in our time doing this podcast, which again, just started in March, we're still, but we babies, it's that the Back of the Pack podcast is something that only Back of the Pack runners, are really kind of getting into. And what I'm really getting is like the front of the pack and middle of the pack, people are like, well, hey, what about us? They want to feel more involved because they like what we do. They just don't really associate with kind of who we are. So we got to thinking, what was something we could do to incorporate everyone? Now, we're not going to do a complete rebranding because I still identify as a Back of the Pack runner. And if I'm the guy that's going to be talking, it's going to be from the Back of the Pack perspective. But what could we do to incorporate everyone? And we think we have our answer. So, and I'm not taking any credit. This is the brainchild of producer Katie, who I don't know why she decided that this was going to be a great idea, but it is a great idea. So we're going to roll with it. And we're going to ask her thoughts behind it here in a second. We're going to start our own running club, for lack of a better term. All right. This is not associated with a business. This is not associated with a group of people. This is not going to be any kind of like a little, I don't know, clique or anything like that, because I know there are other running clubs out there. Some people have gone to them. Some of them have felt a little ostracized. Some people just don't feel like they fit in. That's not what we're about, because if you've listened to this show, you know that we are about everyone. We're about the running community. We're about people being encouraging of each other at all times. Your time doesn't matter. Your pace doesn't matter. Where you finish in the race doesn't matter to us, as long as you toe the start line and you cross the finish line. So we are starting what we are calling the Kansas City Hustle Club. All right. And again, this is the brainchild of producer Katie, but this is going to be our running club. And so it doesn't matter if you are a front of the pack runner, a middle of the pack runner, or a back of the pack runner. We're all going to unite under the banner of the Kansas City Hustle Club. And we're going to go into what all that entails here in a moment. But first, let's kick it over. Producer Katie, this was your brainchild. You presented this idea to me, and then we both decided this was super awesome. We're going to run with it. So where did the idea for this come from?
So, I mean, as you know, Kyle, I like to dabble in design from time to time. And one of the things I was doing, we were actually getting ready for the Kansas City Marathon. And I started thinking of like designs for t-shirts and stuff like that. And, you know, you and I got in such a mindset getting ready for that it was just like, we were just hustling, man. We were just like everything, like every night we were, you know, talking about something, getting on a video chat, like coordinating everything and all the stuff that went into creating the t-shirts. And, you know, because I do that all in my home or I make my children do it, you know, child labor laws, whatever.
They're old enough, whatever.
Right. Whatever. So I was like, man, we're hustling. And I thought that actually could be a really cool shirt. And so I started doing a design, which you'll get to see is the new logo for the Hustle Club, the Kansas City Hustle Club. And, you know, I kind of fell in love with the design and then thinking about everything that pertains to, because, you know, for us, it's a state of mind when we're doing this show. And, you know, the love that we have for the community behind the show and the runners. And then I thought, God, if there's one group of people that are massive hustlers, it's runners, you know. I mean, you guys are a determined bunch. And I do keep saying you guys because I haven't really even been able to hardly walk for the last 20 years. So I am most definitely not a runner, but I can cheer with the best of them. So, you know, until Kyle brought the idea for Back of the Pack, I had no exposure to the running community whatsoever. And I've definitely grown to admire runners. You guys are crazy cool and
or just crazy.
Or just crazy. Right. So, you know, that kind of inspired it, just the mindset of not only Kyle, but the rest of the racing community. And, you know, I've become very inspired. Don't listen, Kyle. You don't need a bigger head than you already have. Not only by listening to Kyle talk about the things he's gone through and his desire to keep going. And sometimes maybe some people would call it a sickness, but I don't. I think he loves running, and I think that it helps him to be a better person. And I think that this club is kind of something that will allow people who are like-minded, who use running for the same reason, to kind of have a place to be, like have a community to chat with, you know. And one of the other things is we don't just focus on Back of the Pack either. You know, we've also brought on Pete, who has helped with nutrition and personal fitness and everything else. And that pertains to the entire community. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to think that this is a running podcast first and foremost. And then, you know, Kyle definitely associates more with the Back of the Pack, and we love him for it. Right, Kyle?
Sure we do.
Sure we do. And I associate with the sidelines, but I know we have some great people out there who listen to this podcast who are definitely not Back of the Packers, but you guys all have that same mindset. It's the hustle. You guys continue that mindset. Every time you step foot outside your door or your, you know, wherever you decide to run. And I admire that. And I think this will be a cool thing for that particular reason.
Yep, for sure. And you're exactly right. And we are getting people who are out there winning these races. These races where I might be bringing up the rear. We've got people out there who are winning these things who are listening to the show. A great family friend of mine, Cheryl, she normally wins half marathons in her age division. And I think she won one of them wearing our t-shirt, which of course cracks me up that she's in a back of the pack t-shirt and winning her age division.
I love it.
Yeah, I find that hilarious. But no, we are getting more people. And again, all we want to be is inclusive of every runner that laces up their sneakers. And it doesn't matter what time you run. So I do love that now under the KC Hustle Club, we kind of have, we're not replacing Back of the Pack. Trust me, this is not a rebranding of any sort. Nope. That is still going to be the podcast name until the day I don't do it anymore, because that was my baby right there.
Whatever, Kyle.
There it is. But under this new banner, I feel like a lot more people are going to feel kind of included in what we're doing. And again, the fast people, the middle of the road people, and then all of us bringing up the rear. So let's talk about what we're going to do, because as Katie hinted to, this was born out of a t-shirt idea and just her creativity. Okay, well, we are people who like to be creative. Now, we're creative in different means, but we like to be creative. So you're going to go out there and you're going to go to KC Hustle Club. You're going to sign up, and here's what you're going to get. The first thing you're going to see on the screen are some t-shirts. These are the designs that Katie has made that are really going to set us apart from everyone else. So you're going to sign up. You're going to get the t-shirt. You're going to get the birthday card from Kyle and producer Katie, because, hey, that's a nice personalized touch. And we like recognizing people for their accomplishments. And one more trip around the sun is definitely an accomplishment. So you're also going to get any early registration for Back of the Pack races. Yes, we are trying to get together a series, at least one 5K, if not a series of Back of the Pack races. And so when those happen, you're going to get the early registration. You're also going to get any exclusive discount codes that are offered to the podcast. Again, we're young, we're new. We've had a few races work with us. We want to get a few more. And anytime we get more, you're going to get the exclusive discount codes to get signed up for that race. And then here's the big one. And this is where Katie's creativity and some of my creativity, when it comes to at least typing and writing things out, are really going to hopefully put it over the top here. We're going to send you out a monthly newsletter. And here's what the monthly newsletter is going to include. You're going to have a training corner. And the training corner is going to be written by Pete. Our buddy Pete, who has been on the podcast now twice, he is going to contribute a monthly piece. And it could be something about personal fitness. It could be about nutrition. It could be about stretching. It could be about doing cardio. It could be about weight training. He's going to offer something up to us every month. And again, this is a guy, this is his life. This is what he gets paid to do. But he's going to put it right there in the newsletter for you to enjoy. You are going to put out a training schedule. If I'm training for a marathon or a fall marathon is coming up or whatever, we're going to kind of put out what that month is going to look like training schedule wise. I'm going to do up a little piece. It's just going to be Kyle's tips and tricks. It might be something I've learned in my years of running, a race that I think you guys should really focus on. I don't know, a new piece of running equipment that I found that I really like. And boy, I've got something I could write about right now on that one. Ask me about my new headphones. Oh, baby. And then any other club announcements that we have. So it's just going to be a monthly newsletter that's going to just kind of keep you in touch, just kind of keep you appraised of what's going on and just give you something fun, something running related to read. It's not a complete Runner's World magazine, and it's not just a little pamphlet that comes in your packet pickup material. No, this is going to be a little newsletter. Read it, enjoy it, and then do with it what you will. So all we're going to ask for on that is $30 a year. $30 annually. All right. And you're going to get the monthly newsletter. You're going to get the t-shirt, the birthday card, registrations, and discounts for $30 a year. Now, if you want your KC Hustle Club shirt to be a dry tech, and we're runners, we like the dry tech. Okay, well, that costs a little more. So we're going to make that $40 annually. And now you're going to say to yourself, okay, so I'm going to pay $40 and I'm going to get the t-shirt. Well, then what? When I renew next year, I'm just going to pay another $40 for the newsletter. Haha, au contraire, mon frere. We are going to have different KC Hustle Club shirts every year because Katie likes to design shirts. And so every year when you renew, you're going to get yourself a new Kansas City Hustle Club shirt. Right, Katie?
That's right.
That is right. That is what we're offering. for what I think is not that big of a cost. But again, this is something, I don't know, that I think could unite a lot of us. And again, I'm not saying you can only be a member of ours and then nothing else. No. Again, we want to unite. I'm a member of a different running club as well. Actually, I think I'm on 2 of them, but I'm still doing KC Hustle Club. It's not one or the other. I'm not telling you dump the other people and come to us. I'm saying the more you're involved with the running community, the more you're going to meet people, the more runs that you get to, the better off you're going to be, the more motivated you're going to be, the more accountable you're going to be for continuing to train. So trust me, we are not about being your one and only one-stop shop exclusive running club. Nope. We just want you to be a part of what we're doing. Be a part of what they're doing out there as well. And let's all just be one big running community. How about that, Katie? Should we start singing Kumbaya at this point?
I'd rather do Hakuna Matata, but Kumbaya is more your speed. Sure, fine.
Yeah, probably is. So, all right. What do you think? Did I fairly represent what we're trying to do here?
I think so. And, to mention a little bit more about Pete, Pete has trained Olympic athletes. He's one of the sole reasons that I had the ability to walk again. So he knows his stuff. Like, we're not talking about some guy who just lifted weights a few times and was like, I can do this. Pete is very educated. This is what he owns his own gym out in Greenville, South Carolina. He knows his stuff. And, if you weren't already getting enough just by getting a T-shirt that basically would cost you $30 in the store.
Right.
The wisdom of Pete is also well worth it. And then, the things that Kyle throws in there too, because I don't want to take anything away from Kyle.
No, I know the main reason for this is definitely going to be Pete's training corner, because he is the real deal, like certified, legit guy. And so, Katie, you did put emphasis on it. We've also been talking to Pete, of course, and he's agreed to do this. This actually is not going to be the only hustle club that's starting up, as Pete and his wife, Chelsea, have agreed to start the Greenville Hustle Club, and that's 100% going to be a thing. So they're going to be offered kind of the same things that everyone here is, but we've already got the shirt made up. There is going to be the Greenville, South Carolina Hustle Club as well, because we haven't even talked about it, and she'll be on the show at a later time. Chelsea is a, high level / elite level runner herself, correct?
I believe professional was thrown out there.
Professional runner, yes. I didn't want to undersell her, but I also didn't want to oversell. But no, professional. That's pretty legit right there. And she also is going to be a part of this. She's going to contribute at times to the newsletter. She's going to come onto the show. But yeah, we're going all out on this. We're trying to launch 2 clubs at one time, the Kansas City Hustle Club and the Greenville, South Carolina Hustle Club, because really we believe in what we're doing and believe in kind of the spirit of the running community. And hey, the worst that we could be is wrong. If nobody is interested and no one thinks it's a great idea, all right, cool. We tried something, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know, we're opening it up now. It's open to everyone. If you want to, go out there at kchustleclub.com. Let's see who the first to sign up is after hearing this podcast. Go out there and do it. Because trust me, we're going to add you to the spreadsheet, mainly so we can put your birthday on it, because you get a birthday card, and be ready for the first newsletter that comes out beginning of the year. 2023, we're getting this bad boy going. So we'll see who the first to sign up is. Dun, dun, dun. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's our big announcement. Hopefully you guys are excited about it as we are, because this is going to be a lot of fun. More ways for Katie to design websites and T-shirts. More stuff for me to talk about on the show, and then more ways for us all to really get together and run. Be at the same race or be at different races. Put your picture on the Instagram page. Say, hey, I was out running in my Hustle Club shirt today. We'd love to see it on the social media, and that's the way to get people involved. So that's what we're going to do. Also, we are going to try maybe in the spring to get a group run or 2 together. I like group runs. I'm not the best at attending them. A lot of times the ones around here, like Saturday morning, and usually I'm running with all of you out at a race. But I think a group run would be fun, or any kind of a group event, because it doesn't have to be a run. It could be a group dinner for all I care. That could be a load of fun. Katie, unless you've got something else to offer, I think we're going to put a bow on this one because it is the holiday season.
I mean, I think that's a lot of information, and I think it's pretty cool information. So I'm excited about it. I hope everybody else gets excited about it. And yeah, no, I don't have anything else to add.
Beautiful. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this special edition of the Back of the Pack podcast. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Rate us on Spotify and iTunes, 5 stars, if you would, please. Leave a review, share the show. That's how we grow. And hey, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate all your love and support over these last few months. We're going to have a few more episodes, and then we'll probably shut it down for a couple weeks to celebrate the holidays and the new year, and then be right back in 2023, ready to get rocking and rolling. So my name is Kyle Walker. I'm the host. My pleasure, as always. This show is produced by Katie O'Neill. Bye, Katie.
Bye, Kyle.
And this is a product of OKKC Sports. We'll see you guys next week.